Part 78. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 771. What is the purpose of Dongfang Kunyu's attack? Everyone couldn't guess it for a while. However, Dongfang Kunyu wanted to kill Li Chen, which was what they all wanted to see. Except for the masters of Li Chen's side, almost everyone present wanted Li Chen to die immediately. Li Chen took the longevity fruit and slipped away from all of them, and everyone was angry. In particular, after the longevity fruit was taken by Xian Shang, this hatred and murderous intention had already reached its peak. As for the major families in the capital, they hated Li Chen even more. Before, Muronghungs disrupted the situation, and everyone didn't show up for the sake of the overall situation, so they just endured it. But now, your value, Li Chen, is not great. Dongfang Kunyu is very strong, at least even if they are strong people in the same heavenly realm, they feel that they are not of the same level. Bang! The rolling pressure fell, as if a space was infinitely compressed. All the pressure fell on Li Chen. Until this moment, Li Chen clearly felt the pressure brought by the other party. He was not very anxious, but he was still a little confused. Logically speaking, he could only reach the late stage of the heavenly man realm at present, which was already the limit. Moreover, the road was broken. Why did this group of people feel like they had broken through the bottleneck of the late heavenly man realm? If this bottleneck could be broken, why didn't the system prompt it? Or did they need to rely on themselves to improve next? Li Chen's head did not stop thinking. Now, he was sure that this group of people must not have absolutely entered the so-called next realm. Otherwise, the ending would not be like this. Endless pressure crushed Li Chen's body, and Li Chen's body had already reached an extreme under the improvement of the system. Li Chen looked at Dongfang Kunyu, who was staring at him with cold eyes. He already understood why Dongfang Kunyu did this. He was fishing. Using himself to catch a big fish. Li Chen's aura was surging, and all his strength was instantly gathered around him. He looked at Dongfang Kunyu indifferently and said, "Are you so sure that killing me can lure him out?" Dongfang Kunyu did not answer, and his palm fell instantly. Li Chen slapped out with one palm, and the palms of the two people collided almost at the same time. When the two palms touched each other, two huge ripples of light were formed instantly. Li Chen's body flew backwards, but Dongfang Kunyu was not feeling well either, and his body retreated several steps. This scene was obviously unexpected by everyone. Li Chen didn't die under Dongfang Kunyu's sneak attack. Cough cough, Li Chen coughed and began to spit blood. This was the first time he was in a weak position since he entered the heavenly man realm. However, this also allowed Li Chen to verify some of his conjectures in his heart. Kailan Genren sat aside and seemed to have no intention of intervening. Long Zhan had been entangled. Everyone in the inspection office was also entangled. Although his people were numerous, their combat effectiveness was not strong. Fuzang and Freemason masters were watching with eager eyes. Xian Shang, who had led the Dongfang and Situ families out, was hiding aside to watch the show. "Did you do it on purpose?" Li Chen looked at Xian Shang. This guy had pitied him in an instant. Heaven and earth are dark and yellow. Dongfang Kunyu waved his right hand, and a chessboard appeared, with a yin-yang flounder suspended on it. "Suppress." Li Chen's face changed. "What is this thing? It can actually freeze him in mid-air." The space around him seemed to be completely locked. Li Chen looked at the scene in shock, and Dongfang Kunyu had already stepped over. "Li Hoxian, if you don't come out, your son will really die." At this moment, the faces of countless people changed slightly. "Isn't Li Hoxian dead? Isn't he dead? No way. Didn't the Red Skull do it himself?" The people around were curious and surprised. But, there was no movement in the dark surroundings. Dongfang Kunyu didn't seem to be joking. He landed near Li Chen and grabbed Li Chen's heart with his right hand. Since you, Li Hokshan, are hiding and not coming out, don't blame me for destroying the last bloodline of your Li family first. Kailan Genren, Xian Shang, Koga Wang, Simon, and other strong men looked around. Will Li Hokshan come out? Dongfang Kunyu, why do you have to do this? Just as Dongfang Kunyu attacked Li Chen, a golden sword energy came from the air. The sword energy penetrated the void, and the golden light seemed to illuminate the entire dark night sky. This sword energy seemed not strong, but it easily changed the color of the top strong men such as Kailan Genren and Xian Shang. If Dongfang Kunyu wanted to forcibly suppress Li Chen, he would also be disabled. In the end, Dongfang Kunyu looked at the place where the sword energy burst out with a little disgust, and still retreated. A tall figure came over. Xian Yuan Bingro. When Li Chen saw this person, he was stunned. This man who looks like a woman in the capital, the first young master, is here too? Xian Yuan Bingro came over, still very cold. However, it was not him who really made the move, but a burly man. This man is the one that Dongfang Kunyu is really afraid of. Xian Yuan Xiong. What? The Xian Yuan family is also going to intervene. Xian Yuan Xiong, holding a bronze sword, glanced at Li Chen and said, "You are far worse than your ancestor." Li Chen. Are you here to show off? Xian Yuan Xiong then looked at Dongfang Kunyu and said, "A bunch of old guys, bullying a young man in his 20s, are you really not ashamed at all?" Upon hearing this, Dongfang Kunyu and Kailan Genren frowned slightly. Is this old guy from the Dongfang family trying to stir up trouble? Why? Are you upset that I came out? Xian Yuan Xiong grinned and said, "Do you still think that my Dongfang family is in the way?" Li Chen narrowed his eyes. He had previously suspected that all the families in the capital were involved. But now it seems that the Xian Yuan family seems to be the only one that did not intervene or participate. So, what role did the Xian Yuan family play in this? Where is the bastard dad? Is he so sure that I will not die? Xian Yuan Xiong, believe it or not, let's join forces to destroy your Xian Yuan family first. Dongfang Kunyu snorted coldly, now if you continue to watch like you did in the past, everyone will be well. Hearing this, Li Chen's mind moved slightly. Could it be that when they joined forces to kill the first director of the inspection department, the Xian Yuan family did not take sides? Come on, you guys give it a try. Xian Yuan Xiong was not afraid at all, and said with a smile, "It seems that I will get rid of you before I die, or you will destroy my Xian Yuan family." Many people frowned slightly, and they were very dissatisfied with Xian Yuan Xiong, who was a tough guy. Hey, Li family kid, don't pretend, you Li family members are all insidious, don't think I don't know you were acting just now. Dongfang Xiong turned his head and looked at Li Chen, who was not shaking. Swish. Countless eyes looked at Li Chen in shock. What does it mean? Is Li Chen acting? Isn't he defeated by Dongfang Kunyu? Isn't he trapped? The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 772. Wu Chuping, Nangong Hengchuo, Zhong Zhengtang, and others were all confused. In this kind of battle, they could not join in and could only worry. From what he said, Master Li is still at ease. This is impossible, right? Li Chen said with a slightly ugly face, "Senior, you are joking." Tisk, Xian Yuan Xiong looked contemptuous, as if he didn't believe a word of what Li Chen said. Li Chen. Did my Li family provoke you? Li Chen couldn't help but feel depressed. How bad was the character of that ancestor back then? And Dad, how unreliable and treacherous must he be to make people look at him like this? He is a pure, kind, and loyal young man. He never lies. Hey, I'm talking about that Kailan Genren. Xian Yuan Xiong pointed his sword at Kailan Genren and said, "We are all 100-year-old old men, so let's not do these empty things." This kid from the Li family used the immortal fruit as bait to lure you out, so he naturally wanted to kill you all with one blow. As for us, let's not waste time. Since we are out, let's fight. The living dominate everything, and the dead don't jump around. Although this person spoke very excitedly, no one paid attention to him. Li Chen couldn't help laughing. He understood why this group of people didn't play with the Xianyuan family. This person's mouth was really unbearable for ordinary people. Xianyuan Xiong was a little annoyed, and turned around and slashed at Li Chen with a sword. This golden sword energy was a few points stronger than the one used against Dongfang Kunyu before. This scene made the masters of Li Chen's side change color. No way, this person who came out to save the situation actually wanted to kill Li Chen? Li Chen's eyelids twitched, and he flashed away from that ghost place. As for the magic weapon of the Dongfang family, it has very limited effect on Li Chen. Isn't he immobilized? The faces of the masters of the major families in the capital changed terribly. Then, they understood. Just as Xianyuan Xiong said, these damn Li people are all a bunch of insidious things. Dongfang Kunyu is using Li Chen to fish, and Li Chen is not the same. However, no one expected that the Xianyuan family would intervene. Li Chen sighed. He really couldn't judge whether this old man was an enemy or a friend. Look, I said it, this kid is very insidious. Xianyuan Xiong cursed. Hurry up and let your father come out, let's settle this matter. He's dead. Li Chen spread his hands. You can forget it. Xianyuan Xiong cursed. Your grandfather and your father are of the same lineage, and you little thing, if you die, your father will not die. Li Chen. Li Chen had a toothache. Who is this person? How come he knows all about the people in the Li family? No, my grandfather? Li Chen thought of the kind old man Li Chuanlong. Is this person, also from the same lineage? Impossible. Li Chen's eyes looked strange, but he had a bad feeling in his heart. Could this old man really be right? In Li Chen's mind, many things were connected again. He was speechless. So I was the only one who was kept in the dark? The people around him also had strange eyes. Naturally, they didn't understand these things. Li Chen looked at Xianyuan Bingguo and said, so, you know it too? Yeah. Are you here to watch the show? Help you? The corners of Li Chen's mouth twitched slightly. You come to help me? Why don't I believe it? Help you find your dad. Li Chen was speechless. You might as well not add the sentence. This is not a show about where are we going, Dad. Li Chen was speechless, but he couldn't help but sigh and said, okay, since it's like this, let's not waste time. Old man, can you kill that guy? Li Chen was referring to Kailan Jinren. Xianyuan Xiong shook his head decisively, this guy is unfathomable, I may not be able to kill him. Then you were bragging before? Li Chen rolled his eyes. Then you can entangle him, I'll deal with the small fish first, Li Chen said. That's possible. Xianyuan Xiong nodded and locked on Kailan Jinren. Kailan Jinren's expression remained unchanged, but his tone was a little helpless, it's not good for you to interfere. I know, I just can't stand you, is it okay, Xianyuan Xiong said, but he was not polite at all. Perhaps because the troublemaker appeared, Kailan Jinren also lost his patience and said, kill them. As he spoke, Sidu Guangan, who was fighting with the old director of the inspection department, suddenly broke out. When the two of them fought just now, they actually didn't kill each other. Long Zhan saw Sidu Guangan explode, and knew that Kailan Jinren and the others were unwilling to wait any longer. Since Li Hoxian didn't come out, then kill Li Chen. Kill him, Kailan Jinren disappeared instantly, and everyone moved. Whether it was the Freemasons or the Fuzu ninjas. Stop them, Wu Chuping roared, and could only stop the Freemasons' masters first. Although their combat power was not top-notch, they had an absolute advantage in numbers. In this way, only Kailan Jinren, Xian Shang, and Fuzu's 4 strong men were left. Although Xian Yuanxiang's combat power was extremely amazing, it seemed that he could only stop Kailan Jinren now. Li Chen's face changed slightly. Xian Shang actually brought 4 strong men from Fuzang to kill him. What made Li Chen feel even more depressed was that Long Zhan seemed to be somewhat inferior to Sidu Guangan. And Sidu Chen, Dongfang Jiang, and Dongfang Dehi also locked their eyes on Li Chen. Kill. The murderous aura was rolling. 8 strong men, and Xian Shang, whose cultivation was almost the same as Kailan Jinren, came to kill him. This was a dead end for Li Chen. Seeing this situation, Li Chen couldn't help cursing. He couldn't handle so many people. Wu Chuping and others blocked the Freemasons, and the rest came to kill Sidu Chen, Dongfang Jiang, and Dongfang Dehi. Xian Shang, are you sure you want to attack me? Li Chen looked at the deputy leader of the Red Skull. You have already obtained the fruit of immortality. As long as you digest it completely, you are no weaker than anyone else. Why do you still need to listen to the words of Kailan Jinren? Ha ha ha. Xian Shang laughed. Li Chen, stop sowing discord. Even if I leave the Red Skull, I have to deal with you first. As for who will be in charge between him and me, that is a matter between us. Really, Li Chen's eyes gradually turned cold. I originally thought that if you were obedient, I would let you be the boss, but it's a pity, a dog is always a dog, and the habit of biting people indiscriminately can never be changed. Xian Shang couldn't laugh anymore, and looked at Li Chen with extremely gloomy eyes. Li Chen had played with him before and used him, and he was very annoyed. Even if he got the fruit of immortality, he still hated Li Chen. You want to die, I'll help you, Xian Shang snorted coldly. Really, Li Chen snapped his fingers with his right hand, and Xian Shang suddenly spit out a mouthful of blood, and the whole person made a miserable cry. Something seemed to be running wild in Xian Shang's body. And his 7 orifices began to bleed, and he was in great pain. You did something to the immortal fruit. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 773. Xian Shang's misfortune was unexpected. His miserable cry was horrifying. He was one of the most powerful people in the world, how could he be so miserable? Even he couldn't bear the pain. How painful was it? Rich blood rushed out from his 7 orifices, some of which were smelly and stained with green. The original trend of attack was also interrupted. Li Chen said with a cold look in his eyes, if the deputy sect master is willing to help me kill these Fuzang masters, I can make it easier for you. Li Chen, Xian Shang's angry roar resounded throughout the sky. He looked at Li Chen with an extremely resentful look, wishing to cut Li Chen into pieces. Don't scream so loudly, those who don't know will think I don't respect the old and love the young. Li Chen waved his hand, since you don't want to, forget it. As soon as the voice fell, Li Chen pinched his hands. After waiting for so long, do you really think that I, Li Chen, am acting with you? Li Chen's eyes turned cold, and he made a seal with both hands and said, the formation rises. With the Murong family as the center, all the areas where the wealthy families in the capital are based have a formation rising at the same time. The formation instantly encompasses the sky. This scene made everyone's face change. Even Kailan Jinren's face changed. The formation. Did he leave it for you? This he naturally refers to the ancestor of the Li family. The ancestor of the Li family left in a hurry, and it stands to reason that there should be no survivors. Otherwise, the old director of the inspection department would not have been killed. At this time, Li Chen was suspended in the sky, staring at the 4 Fuzang strongmen around him with cold eyes. Dad, if you still hide, Your son will leave with people, and you and Murong Hungs, the old man, will deal with the next mess by yourselves. As soon as Li Chen finished speaking, his figure suddenly rose. Be careful, exclaimed Matsunaga Hisahide, who was in the middle stage of the heavenly man realm. Li Chen fell from the sky, and his index and middle fingers of his right hand formed a sword finger. A surging sword energy condensed into a silver-white sword energy about 5 meters long in the sky. He slashed at Zhongshan Meijian with the sword. Zhongshan Meijian was shocked. She didn't understand why Li Chen locked on her. Even though her cultivation reached the middle stage of the heavenly man realm, she still had little resistance when facing the top group of strong men. Both swords came out together, slashing out sharp sword energy. But when she just slashed out, Li Chen's sword energy had already fallen with unparalleled momentum. Boom! The sword energy shattered and turned into dots of starlight under the night sky. The sword energy instantly slashed from Zhongshan Meijian's head with an indestructible sharpness. The whole person was split in half. Zhongshan Meijian, who was in the middle stage of the heavenly man realm, fell. Kill him! Koga Nozomi and Iga Matsumoto Jun roared. They also had the strongest killing intention towards Li Chen. This man had an almost perverted hatred towards their lineage. Matsuage Hisahide stared at the scene in a daze. Nakayama Mikan died just like that. He still couldn't believe it. Boom! Xian Yuan Xiong's body flew backwards, and when he fell, the ground shook. A mansion of the Murong family was smashed into ruins. Kailan Genren came in one step and was about to kill Li Chen. Xian Shang's 7 orifices were bleeding, and he attacked Li Chen with the intention of killing. At this moment, the 5 strong men did not give Li Chen any chance. Li Chen's eyes were cold, and his eyes were locked on Matsunaga Hisahide. He completely ignored the attacks of Kailan Genren, Xian Shang, Koga Nozomi, and Iga Matsumoto Jun. Save me! Matsuage Hisahide's face changed drastically. In his eyes, Li Chen was now a complete lunatic. Why do you have to kill the ninjas from the Fuzu lineage? Red Skull treated you like that, why don't you kill him? Matsunaga Hisahide regrets it now, he shouldn't have come here. Li Chen was willing to kill him even if he was injured, which shows how determined he is. Boom! As Matsunaga Hisahide called for help, Li Chen's extremely violent punch, with the power to crush a huge rock weighing 10,000 pounds, landed heavily on his back. The power of this punch was so strong that it shook the moment it touched his back. His heart was completely shattered. In the blink of an eye, 2 masters fell. Li Chen coughed up a mouthful of blood, and his internal organs were all uncomfortable. Boom! The next moment, Li Chen had just protected his vitals when he was hit hard by Xian Shang's violent power. The house below was directly shattered by Li Chen and turned into a ruin, with rubble and dust flying. A spear appeared in Kailan Genren's hand, and he immediately shot it towards Li Chen below. Even Li Chen couldn't stop this group of people from joining forces. Just as Li Chen was about to be nailed to death, a semicircular arc of light appeared and blocked Li Chen's way. Ding! The spear collided with the arc of light, emitting a dazzling flame. The spear melted little by little, and finally disappeared. A tall figure blocked Li Chen, who was already vomiting blood. Kailan Genren, Dongfang Kunyu, and Sidu Guangan couldn't help but smile. You finally came out, Kailan Genren sneered, I thought you would really ignore your son's life or death. Li Hoxian. Is he really not dead? All the masters in the capital turned their heads and looked at the figure below. If Li Hoxian doesn't show up, Li Chen will die. When they join forces, they can't stop even 2 Li Chens, let alone 1. As the smoke and dust dissipated, Li Hoxian also appeared clearly in front of everyone. He had a slightly gentle smile on his face and was very handsome. Li Chen and him were quite similar. Climbing out of the ruins, Li Chen spat out a mouthful of blood, glanced at this spotless father, and said, Why don't you continue to hide? Li Hoxian looked at Li Chen's embarrassed appearance and said, I didn't believe in cheating your father before, but today I really believe it. Then you cheated your son. Li Chen pouted and said, I will settle my account with you later. The father and son chatted as if no one was around. Kylan Genren had already brought people to force his way over, saying, since you've come out, this matter should be over. Li Chen pushed Li Hoxian and said, this old man is a bit of a thing, I can't beat him, you go. Li Hoxian's face darkened and said, I'm old, and you've achieved so much at such a young age to deal with that person with blood flowing from all 7 orifices, so you should come. Jia He Wang. Simon. Zheng Wenjun. If the situation wasn't wrong, everyone would have suspected that they had come to the wrong place. Why don't you two, father and son, come together? Kylan Genren said lightly, end this farce. I think this martial arts world that has been blocked for 120 years should also start a new journey. Li Chen heard this and put away his happy mood of reuniting with his father. Have you been waiting for my father to show up? Li Chen said, even at the cost of so many people dying. You talk too much nonsense. Kylan Genren snorted coldly and stepped forward. At this moment, Li Chen clearly felt that even if he joined forces with his father, he would probably not be defeated. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 774. Li Hoxian looked at Kylan Genren calmly and said, you have been chasing me for so many years, what for? Kylan Genren snorted coldly and said nothing. The people around him also understood that now that you, Li Hoxian, have come out, everything should come to an end. Wait a minute, Li Hoxian waved his hand and said, Koga Wang, right? What is the purpose of your Fuzang lineage coming here? Koga Wang and Iga Matsumoto Jun both slowed down their pace at the same time. You are all for the longevity fruit, right? Since the longevity fruit has been eaten by Xian Shang, why are you targeting us? Li Hoxian's voice was loud, ensuring that all the masters of the Jingxi lineage could hear it. Many people looked unhappy. Yes, the longevity fruit was eaten. If nothing unexpected happens, when Xian Shang is digested, either Xian Shang will be unified or Red Skull will be unified. Now Xian Shang's attitude is ambiguous, and no one knows whether he is acting or really rebelling against Red Skull. Immortal fruit, Dongfang Kunyu shook his head. It's okay to trick them with this kind of thing, but do you think we will believe it? Li Chen frowned slightly. Did this group of people see through it? What do you mean? What do you mean by tricking them? Is the immortal fruit not real? Zheng Wenjun and others looked very pale. Were they all fooled? If this is the real immortal fruit, with Xian Shang's cultivation, how could he still be stuck in this position? Sidu Guangan also said lightly, how could the immortal fruit, which involves immortality, have such a little effect? Everyone fell on Xian Shang, who was now extremely miserable. Pus and blood all over his body. This thing is fake at first glance. Nonsense, Li Chen said with his neck stiff, this is what my ancestors left me. Xian Yuan Xiong scolded, don't lie to me, kid, I don't believe what you said. Is it so fake? Li Chen was speechless. He thought his fakery was quite real, but unexpectedly, these top masters all found something wrong. Oh, Xian Shang was an exception. After all, he was the only one who was fooled. If the longevity fruit is fake, then what is the point of fighting for so long? Many Tianren realm masters were confused. What they have been fighting for decades is fake. It is meaningless. All fake, Zheng Wenjun and others felt as if they were struck by lightning. The longevity fruit is fake? Then is longevity still real? No, if the longevity fruit is fake, then why are they staring at Li Hoxian? The abnormal behavior of the Red Skull made everyone realize the trick. They have been targeting the Li family for so many years. Since they already know that the things are fake, they must have other plans. Zheng Wenjun, Mu Wenjia, He Runkai and others racked their brains and suddenly thought of a piece of information. The laboratory of the Li family. Countless eyes looked at Kylan Genren and Li Hoxian. If they remembered correctly, when they were in Rongcheng, Li Hoxian seemed to have set up a laboratory. But after the Li family was destroyed, the laboratory disappeared. At that time, the major families involved thought that it was taken away by the Red Skull. They didn't pay too much attention to the laboratory. Now that they think about it, it seems wrong. The longevity fruit is fake. If this was known from the beginning, then the Red Skull's target has always been Li Hoxian's laboratory. What is Li Hoxian researching? What else is more exciting than longevity? Everyone felt that they were being fooled, but now no one understood the game between the Red Skull and Li Hoxian. This feeling is very uncomfortable. What is going on? Mu Wenjia asked. Zheng Wenjun shook his head and looked at Xianyuan Bingguo. Xianyuan, you know, right? The cold Xianyuan Bingguo shook her head. The Xianyuan family has not participated from beginning to end, so we don't know what Li Hoxian and Muronghongs are planning, and what Kylan Genren is planning. The people in the capital were very annoyed, but they all believed in Xianyuan Bingguo. Eternal life is everyone's obsession. Now everyone feels empty in their hearts. Kylan Genren stared at Li Hoxian and said, "What about him?" "What him?" Li Hoxian was confused. "Li Hoxian, I didn't kill you, not because I couldn't kill you, I repeatedly let you live, that's because I want to see if your experiment can succeed." Kylan Genren's face was very cold, and his voice didn't have much warmth. "If you still have this attitude, then we have nothing to talk about." The faces of the people in the Dongfang family and the Situ family all changed. It seems that Kylan Genren and Li Hoxian are still cooperating. Li Chen stood aside with his eyes narrowed. It seemed that he had guessed correctly. He said that with the cruel temper of Kylan Genren, how could he have let his father escape successfully at that time? It seems that everyone is acting. Laboratory. Who is it? Li Chen glanced at his father and probably guessed it. He felt a little strange and helpless. This is the fate of the Li family. It seems that the experiment did not succeed. Kylan Genren shook his head and was very disappointed. In this case, you should die. After speaking, Kylan Genren fell with a palm. The sky and the earth changed color. The masters of the Tianren realm of the major families in the capital all changed color, and the last two Tianren realm late masters left in Fuzhang also retreated one after another. Why is Kylan Genren so strong? How is this possible? This time, the Red Skulls took action, but the others did not. They found that they were deceived from the beginning to the end. Now that the clues are broken, no one knows what Li Hoxian is researching. They also don't know what Kylan Genren wants. Why fight? Just to be a thug? Since Kylan Genren wants to take action against Li Hoxian, they are naturally happy to see it happen. Why do you want to do this? Li Hoxian sighed. You are right to rob our family's things, right? Li Hoxian pushed Li Chen away, his eyes became sharp. He shook the ground with his feet, and the wind around him was blowing, and he pushed up with both hands. Crack! With the ground where Li Hoxian was standing as the center, it broke inch by inch. The whole ground was sinking, even Li Hoxian, who was also in the late stage of the heavenly man realm, was also defeated at this moment. Perhaps, this is the strongest person in the world. This was the first time that all the masters present saw the Red Skull's leader, Kylan Genren, at full fire. It seemed that only Li Hoxian could successfully anger him. However, everyone was very curious, what exactly did he expect Li Hoxian to research? When Li Hoxian pushed him away, Li Chen's figure suddenly disappeared from the spot. Don't move. Li Chen cast the Buddhist spell of immobilization, aiming at the two powerful men, Koga Nozomi and Iga Matsumoto Jun. When everyone was still in a daze and had not yet reacted, Li Chen suddenly attacked. The first move was a sure kill. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 775. Li Chen, Koga Wang roared. After all, they are two real jonins, and their own abilities are still extremely powerful. When Li Chen attacked with the method of one force defeating 10, Koga Wang and Iga Matsumoto Jun, two powerful men, still broke the ability of the immobilization spell. This is why Li Chen complained that the ability of the Tension sect was rubbish. To be honest, it is indeed quite rubbish. This thing can only be used when dealing with the weak. It is still not enough to deal with a strong enemy. However, the opponent's mistake at this moment is enough for Li Chen. Bang bang. Li Chen's two fists hit their bodies fiercely. This was the last moment, and they broke free from the restraints, otherwise they would have been killed by Li Chen's punch. Vajrasattva Heart Mantra. Koga Wang sprayed blood while making a single cobalt seal with his hands. This is their secret prayer for entering the mountain, which was also adapted from the wrong copy of the 9-character mantra in China. This is the curse seal of his own breakthrough, combined with the spiritual power of heaven and earth. However, since Li Chen has come to them, he is naturally very sure. Li Chen spread his hands, and a small square barrier enveloped the two of them, giving them no chance to perform the 5 elements clone technique. Li Chen came in one step, shrinking the earth into an inch. Vajra seal. The fist seal is fierce and domineering, invincible. Coupled with Li Chen's momentum, this moment presents a fierce and fearless state. Therefore, these countless fist seals are like the angry eyes of Vajra, bombarding Koga Wang and sending him flying backwards. One punch after another hit his protective shield fiercely. Die. With the last punch, Li Chen came with a bang, instantly breaking Koga Wang's protective shield. Swish. An extremely sharp and cold blade flew over, and Iga Matsumoto Jun couldn't let Li Chen kill his companion in front of him. Although they still have a competitive relationship with each other, they are now abroad. Li Chen stretched out his left hand, and a palm print slammed hard on the flying sword energy. Directly shook off Iga Matsumoto Jun's sword energy. Puff. Koga Wang couldn't block Li Chen's punch, and his eyes showed horror. He never thought that Li Chen, who was already seriously injured, was still so powerful. Even, he could be compared with Xian Shang, who had swallowed the eternal fruit. What does this mean? It means that Li Chen has been pretending to be weak from the beginning, making everyone think that he is just an ordinary late Tianren realm. With a bang, Li Chen blasted him with a punch, and blood rain was scattered everywhere. Iga Matsumoto Jun turned around and fled, raising the long sword in his hand, and the sword light gathered, as if dozens of long swords merged into one. Crack! Iga Matsumoto Jun still broke through Li Chen's barrier and disappeared without looking back. Li Chen stretched out his hands, wind blade. Iga Matsumoto Jun was shocked. He felt invisible wind blades forming around him, but they were enough to tear him apart. Even if he was invisible, in fact, it was only people's vision that was deceived, and he still existed. The tearing ability was everywhere, and Iga Matsumoto Jun's face turned black. On his body, blood marks were torn. 5 elements, Li Chen made a seal again, water blade. Iga Matsumoto Jun's face changed in shock. He was shocked to find that water blades had formed around him. Even the water power in his body was flowing away at an accelerated rate. Finally, it counterattacked on him, cutting his skin and his defense. What method are you using? Iga Matsumoto Jun was very angry. Is this the method used by normal people in the martial arts world? This is not the case at all. Not only Iga Matsumoto Jun was shocked, but the others also looked at Li Chen. The method used by the martial ancestor in the past is the most basic method. Hearing Xian Yuanxiang's exclamation, the faces of many Tianren realm masters became even more unnatural. Are the basic methods of the Li family ancestors so perverted? Is this impossible? Is there such a fancy martial art? Li Chen came across the void and stepped hard. Although Iga Matsumoto Jun blocked it, he was stepped hard into the ground by Li Chen. Destroy. Just when Iga Matsumoto Jun was about to leave with the 5 elements escape technique, the change happened again. How is it possible? He found that he could not use the earth escape technique. Why is this? Li Chen retracted his handprint, and countless blood oozed from the ground. There was silence between heaven and earth. All the Tianren realm masters looked at Li Chen with fear at this moment. This is a late Tianren realm master, just gone like this? It only took about 10 seconds, and the 2 top masters died like this? Even though they saw it with their own eyes, everyone still felt it was particularly unreal. Li Chen looked at Li Hoqiang and said, "Can you still hold on?" Li Hoqiang ignored his son's revengeful mentality because he really couldn't be distracted. "Old director, stop playing and get ready to finish work." As Li Chen spoke, the strong man who had been stationed in the world for a full 100 years, finally broke out. In the sky, a blood-red blade light shot up into the sky. "I don't care whether you and Red Skull are really separated or cooperating." Long Zhan's aura was like a rainbow. At this moment, the blood-red longsword on his head locked Sidu Guangan. "Everyone has to be in my territory." Sidu Guangan's face changed. He didn't expect that this old man actually had a trick up his sleeve. "Get up." In the direction of the Sidu family, a large formation rose. Cut. Long Zhan swung his right hand down, and the blood-red longsword seemed to split the world apart. Sidu Guangan used the power of the large formation to perform the art of Dharma. The huge arm rose into the air, and his hands were clasped together, trying to catch the blood-red longsword. Boom! The longsword swung down without any hesitation. This sword broke the confidence of the major families in the capital. A bloodline appeared on Sidu Guangan's forehead, and then blood spurted out. No. Impossible. Sidu Guangan was completely torn apart. He is the strongest between heaven and earth. Although the limits of heaven and earth are stuck, their own abilities are still constantly improving. After immersing himself in these years, he is not without progress, but the progress is slow. Long Zhan is a junior, and logically, he should be inferior to him. However, when everyone is touching the ceiling, why can Long Zhan kill him with one knife? Sidu Guangan can't figure it out, maybe no one can tell the answer. Ancestor! Sidu Chen roared, "Why is this happening?" Obviously Long Zhan was defeated before. The masters of the major families in the capital finally woke up. At this moment, they had no other thoughts. Since immortality is impossible, they will protect themselves. No matter what the grudges between Li Hoqiang and Red Skull are, no matter what happened more than 100 years ago, they will protect themselves first. Everyone from the inspection department, kill all the Tianren realm. Long Zhan spoke with a cold tone, without any personal feelings. Long Zhan, you dare. The masters of the major families in the capital were shocked and angry. How dare the inspection office? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 776. However, as Long Zhan spoke, the experts from the inspection department who had been frustrated for so long finally revealed their ferocious fangs and blades. Kill. Li Chen turned his head and looked towards the Freemasons without any hesitation. Wu Chuping, Zhong Zhengtang. Kill at all costs. With Li Chen's permission, the major masters and those who were half-step into the heavenly realm began to use life-threatening tactics. They knew that Li Chen wanted to deal with all hidden dangers at this time. In the end, the only ones left were the Red Skull and the major families in the capital. Withdraw. Simon and others quickly retreated, there was nothing they could do now. Several masters of Freemasonry are thinking of retreating. But how could Li Chen let them leave? Li Chen, let's go. Simon led the people to retreat. We will no longer participate in your affairs. So far, they have no deaths, and there are 5 more. But if they are not evacuated, everyone may be left here. The longevity fruit is just a trap, so they naturally don't want to fight anymore. But Li Chen ignored them at all. After all the powerful men came over, they started killing without saying anything. Li Chen, do you have to fight us to the death? Simon was angry. Boom. Anthony the Freemason was the first to be beheaded. The ones who took action were Lin Hongxia and Wu Ying. These 2 strong women were the ones who had made the fastest progress and were also the most reliable in doing things. Kill. Seeing that Lin Hongxia and Wu Ying were the first to kill one person, although they were both in the early stages of the heavenly realm, it was not that easy to kill each other. The 2 grown men, Zhong Zhengtang and Qiu Lijhan, were a little overwhelmed. They were dealing with another Andrew, who was also in the early stages of the heavenly realm. Lao Qiu, you are so powerful. Zhong Zhengtang swung his knife and slashed, causing Andrew to keep retreating. Let me. Qiu Lijhan roared angrily, and his hands fell hard, destroying both of Andrew's hands. Ah! Die! Zhong Zhengtang swung his sword and cut off Andrew's head. Boom! A melee broke out completely. Li Hoxian's body slammed into the ground, vomiting blood. Master Kailan is too strong, and Li Hoxian cannot handle him alone. However, at this point in the battle, the major families in the capital also began to suffer casualties. With Long Zhan in charge and many powerful men in the inspection department fighting, the major families in the capital could no longer bear it. They found that in the end they had caught nothing and had to be liquidated by the inspection department. This was definitely premeditated. You knew this a long time ago, right? Zheng Wenjun looked at Xianyuan Bingguo with a pale face. At this time, Xianyuan Bingguo was a little more gentle and said with a smile, does it matter whether you know it or not? From the moment you participate, there is actually no room for maneuver, right? Zheng Wenjun and others were extremely complicated, and they realized that they were living like clowns. Masters fell one after another. Long Zhan from the inspection department is sitting in the audience. Who dares to compete with him? No. As Li Chen took action, the last member of the Freemason was also killed. The entire peripheral area was thoroughly cleaned. Now, only a few members of the Red Skull are left. However, all the major families in the capital came to the Dongfang family and were guarded by Dongfang Kunyu. The entire scene was controlled by Li Chen and the inspection department. On the Red Skull's side, the 4 powerful men, Qi Niu, Tengu, Yinhu, and Mao Rabbit, were all injured. Although Xianzang had the strongest combat power, he was already disabled. When Li Chen made this fake longevity fruit undergo a qualitative change, he added the most deadly poison. Nowadays, poisons have already taken effect. Xuanzang's entire body was covered in pus and blood, and the blood in his body was eroded by toxins. At this time, although he had no fighting power, he had been completely plotted to death by Li Chen. The combat effectiveness of this late-stage heavenly realm can be considered completely useless. Li Chen led many masters to surround him, and Qi Niu and others felt that this time they finally had no bottom. Even if Master Kailan faces Li Chen and others, he is not absolutely invincible. Li Hoxian was beaten so badly that he almost couldn't survive. Now that he saw Li Chen finish off everyone, he finally let out a long breath. This was the only time that father and son faced an opponent at the same time. Inspection Department Long Zhan led many experts from the inspection department to completely surround this place. What should we do? He Runkai and others panicked. Now there are not many experts left. If the inspection department wants to extinguish them quickly, they will be finished. Without the masters in charge of the capital family, they would no longer be at the top. Zheng Wenjun said nothing because he knew that this time the major families in the capital had really failed. Li Chen, Li Hoqian, and Long Zhan approached, and Xian Yuanxiang stood aside holding a bronze sword to hold down the formation. As long as Master Kailan is completely eliminated, then this battle will be over. Even if the Red Skull still has some strength outside, it won't be able to cause trouble. However, faced with the encirclement of three powerful men of the same level, Master Kailan still seemed not to panic. It seemed that everything in front of him was nothing to him. Kill! Long Zhan slashed down with his sword, and Li Hoqian took action at the same time. Li Chen's figure instantly appeared above Kailan Genren, and the three strong men officially fought for the first time. Kailan Genren kicked Li Hoqian away, and took Long Zhan's knife out of thin air, spitting out a mouthful of blood, but also beat Long Zhan back step by step. Bang bang bang. Li Chen's attack was more swift and more powerful. But he was always blocked by Kailan Genren. At this moment, Li Chen clearly felt that the three of them were not as good as Kailan Genren. Bang! Li Chen took a punch and smashed into the ground fiercely, and a huge deep pit appeared. The major families in the capital, which had already despaired, became excited again. Kailan Genren seemed to have the intention of suppressing the three strong men alone. So strong, Xian Yuanxiang's eyelids twitched wildly. What realm did Kailan Genren reach? Long Zhan stood up and said, "Have you entered the spiritual realm?" Li Chen, who climbed out of the deep pit, felt a little uncomfortable. This is not at the same level at all. Also, what is the spiritual realm? The next realm of the heavenly realm? Didn't the ancestors say that the world has been sealed? The martial arts path is blocked, how can we enter the next realm? Ha ha ha, so that's it, Dongfang Kunyu couldn't help laughing, so it's you. He laughed alone, as if he recognized Kailan Genren. You are the only transcendent person in the world. Dongfang Kunyu's eyes were fiery, and he turned to look at Li Hoqian and Li Chen. Are you betting that Li Hoqian is the key to opening the door to the spiritual realm? For so many years, Li Hoqian has not succeeded. Haven't you ever thought that Li Hoqian might be using himself to attract your attention? The real key may be in Li Chen's hands. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 777. The Door to the Spiritual Realm. Zheng Wenjun and others were all confused, and they felt like idiots. At this moment, if you still don't understand, then your life is really in vain. The longevity fruit is fake. It's just a bait put out by the ancestor of the Li family. However, everyone believed it to be true. And, they are all waiting for this thing to come out. But now it seems that the Red Skull has long known that it was fake. No wonder he wasn't worried that Xianzang would grab it before. At this moment, Long Zhan finally understood the many unreasonable things he had done before. No wonder Master Kailan was indifferent. No wonder Master Kailan said he couldn't get Xianzang. Because the real key is not the longevity fruit at all, but something else. But, what exactly is this thing? Countless eyes were looking at Li Hoqian. This one seems to be the one planning the plan. However, now it seems that Dongfang Kunyu also knows. After Dongfang Kunyu stated his guess, Master Kailan began to look at Li Chen in a real sense for the first time. Li Hoqian, is that him? Master Kailan pointed at Li Chen and spoke. Li Hoqian, who was originally a little worried when Dongfang Kunyu spoke, saw that everyone was focusing on Li Chen, and he immediately said seriously, "No. This looks very much like denial." Li Chen couldn't help but sigh, "Dad, your acting skills are too fake. At least you act nervous enough." "Yes, my father's research is mine." Li Chen stood up and said, "Although I don't know what you call the key, I know that the key to breaking the door to the spiritual realm lies with me." Dongfang Kunyu and others looked at Li Hoqian and Li Chen and his son. Their first feeling was that it was fake. Li Hoqian seemed to be eager for everyone to focus on Li Chen, and Li Chen seemed to do this intentionally. No, no, Zheng Wenjun said, Li Chen seems to be deliberately attracting attention. We must have missed something. Murong Hungs, Mu Wenjia exclaimed. Everyone woke up one after another. Yes, the guy who had fooled everyone from beginning to end disappeared. To say that this matter had nothing to do with him would be hard for them to believe. Murong Hungs and Li Hokshan have been colluding with each other for more than a day or two. Now that Murong Hungs has disappeared, I seriously doubt that Murong Hungs is leading this matter. Zheng Wenjun said, if we say that true immortality is it's about breaking the shackles of the martial arts world, breaking the shackles, so this possibility should be related to Murong Hungs who is hiding. Li Chen grinned and said, why didn't you say it was on me? Zheng Wenjun and others ignored Li Chen. Really, aren't you curious as to why I have reached a peak in a short period of time that you cannot reach in your lifetime? Li Chen spoke again. This time, no one was scornful. Dongfang Kunyu, Dongfang Qiang, and others all looked at Li Chen, they had indeed suspected it. However, there may not be such geniuses in the martial arts world. Master Kailan stared at Li Chen with sharp eyes. In just a few months, you have grown to this point. It is indeed a bit incredible. Since you took the initiative to focus attention on you, I will find it out from you. Dad, help, Li Chen turned around and ran away. However, if this Kailan master wants to kill someone, who can stop him? Hey, Li Hokshan sighed, what an unfilial son. Li Hokshan shook his right hand, and bottles and jars exploded in the sky. Then, without saying a word, he ran away in the direction of Longzhan. Longzhan's face was dark. These two father and son were really not the same thing. Kill. As the old director of the inspection department, he cannot escape at this time. Holding the knife in both hands, he locked eyes with Master Kailan with his sharp eyes. The blood-red sword light swung upwards diagonally. The four masters of Qinglong roared, come here, let's kill them together. Everyone in the inspection department immediately began to divide the work. At this time, the four masters of Qi Niu must be eliminated first, so that they can be free to deal with Kailan Genren. Take action, Dongfang Kunyu scolded. Masters from Dongfang Qiang, Dongfang Dehi and other major families in the capital immediately went to pester the branch directors of the inspection department. Master Kailan's eyes were cold, he came through the air, and stepped on the sword light with the sole of his foot. It can be seen that in the dark night sky, the bloody sword light was crushed by the footprints of the feet in an instant. Grass. Even though he was the strongest man in the world second only to Kailan Genren, Longzhan couldn't help but spit out national curses. The difference is so big, how can we still play? If you two father and son run away again, I won't care about you, Longzhan scolded. Li Hokshan and Li Chen looked at each other and thought it was right, so they turned around. Son, go ahead and hold on for a while. Dad has a trump card. Li Hokshan said to Li Chen seriously. Li Chen looked at Li Hokshan with doubt. Why did he only see holes in his old father's face? He has been kept in the dark since he was a child. The past 20 years have been arranged by him and old thief Murong. From start to finish. Can you believe it yourself? No, I can't bear it. You are my father, and my father is a big mountain. You go up first. Li Hokshan. Could this be the overwhelming love of a father? Like a landslide? Get out, hurry up, Li Hokshan kicked Li Chen. Li Chen flew out with the momentum, his eyes became cold, his hands quickly formed seals, and he shouted, Old director, I have a seal that can hold him down for a while. Okay, Longzhan responded. One person definitely can't do it, although 3 people can't do it either, but they can delay time. As long as Qinglong and the others are free, then everyone will come together, no matter what, it will be a 50-50 fight, right? Binding, fixing. Li Chen pointed out, and the whole person became much weaker. Kylan Genren's face changed slightly, but strangely, he did not dodge, but took the initiative to take Li Chen's attack. At this moment, Kylan Genren clearly felt a great binding force coming from between heaven and earth. This kind of power comes with the help of heaven and earth. You really figured out something, Kylan Genren sneered. It seems that the old guy didn't leave nothing behind, so the key may really be in your hands. As Kylan Genren was fixed, Long Zhan held the knife with both hands. The blood-colored blade light shot up into the sky, and a storm was swirling around. It can be clearly seen that the blood-colored blade light is about 5 or 6 meters long, and all the light is rapidly condensed together. At this moment, the killing intent is boiling. Even the masters in the late stage of the heavenly man realm can hardly withstand this sharp and domineering blade energy. Blood blade slash. The long sword fell, and the dark night sky seemed to be cut open. Everything was shrouded in blood. This knife landed steadily on the head of Kylan Genren. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 778. Everyone in the inspection department was ecstatic. Will this knife work? You know, Long Zhan is actually an existence that has surpassed the late stage of the heavenly man realm. Although his realm has always been in the heavenly man realm, his combat power is no longer the same. Boom. When the blood-colored long knife fell, it was as if there was an extra barrier above the head of Kylan Genren. When the two collided, the trigger point spread out circles of ripples. Circles of shock waves continued to spread and increase. When the 9 layers of ripples were superimposed, they exploded instantly. Boom. Kylan Genren's body shook and his body retreated 5 or 6 steps. However, such a violent knife still did not hurt him. This was the result of his joint efforts with Li Chen. In theory, any strong man in the late stage of the heavenly man realm would die, but he just retreated a few steps. Li Chen glanced at Li Hokshan behind him and saw that he didn't know what he was mumbling and fiddling with, and was a little speechless. Dad is really a scoundrel. From beginning to end, his presence is not as strong as Murong the old thief. At least, although the old thief is not a martial arts expert, he has fooled everyone around. Now, Murong the old thief has disappeared, and everyone is still uneasy. Swish. Long Zhan and Li Chen rushed out at the same time, and now they can only resist the attack of Kylan Genren as much as possible. At the same time, Dongfang Kunyu did not make any moves. He is also a well-known strong man in the world. Except for Sidu Guangan, who died tragically, he is the strongest. Dongfang Kunyu did not rush to attack, and Li Chen's people were staring at him. Swish. Footsteps sounded. Dongfang Kunyu, Zheng Wenjun, Mu Wenjia, He Runkai and others all looked at the figure walking out of the darkness. He Wangxia, Zhong Zhengtang, Wu Chuping, Nangong Hongchuo and others also looked at this figure. Who is this person? Dongfang Jiang stared at the figure until the figure caught everyone's eyes. It's you. Dongfang Jiang was shocked and angry. The rest of the people were confused by this scene. How did Dongfang Jiang know this person? Who is this person? Why has he never appeared before? Meet my father-in-law. Li Qingshan smiled. His smile was gentle and elegant. He was exactly like Li Hokshan, who was not angry. Is he also a member of the Li family? Mu Wenjia looked grim. I'm not your father-in-law, Dongfang Jiang said angrily. So, you and Li Hokshan have been together all the time. His surname is Li, and my surname is Li too, shouldn't it be? The young man spread his hands and smiled. Dongfang Jiang's eyes were gloomy, and his murderous intent was boiling. Who is he? Dongfang Kunyu on the side said lightly. He. Dongfang Jiang didn't know how to answer for a while. Could it be that he was a descendant of the Li family that was destroyed that year? Is he the bastard who seduced his daughter, didn't marry her, but let her give birth to a child, and brought disgrace to the Dongfang family? I am Dongfang Yaoking's lover, Li Qingshan explained with a smile. Maybe, I should call you the ancestor. Humph, Dongfang Kunyu's eyes were cold, the descendants of the Li family in the capital? Of course they knew that although the capital lineage was destroyed, some people were left. These people were not martial artists, but ordinary people. If the Xianyuan family hadn't stood up, perhaps this lineage would have been gone. It seems that you came out at this time because you think you have a way to deal with everyone, Dongfang Kunyu said coldly. That's not the case, Li Qingshan said very confidently, but I should be able to deal with you. Looking for death, Dongfang Dehi was furious. This bastard, how dare he speak so arrogantly? The long spear shook, lightning and thunder shot out, Dongfang Dehi flashed and stabbed the tip of the spear at Li Qingshan's thin body. This abominable thing deserves to die. Yu Xianyuan Bingro held Xianyuan Xiong back and didn't let him make a move. Just when the spear was about to touch Li Qingshan, a cold arc appeared on the corner of Li Qingshan's mouth. He stretched out his right hand, and his slender fingers, like white jade, gently touched the spear. Ding! A sharp and piercing sound rang out, and the spear shook wildly, and Dongfang Dehi was shocked. His tiger's mouth had been broken, and blood was soaked in the spear, and he almost couldn't hold it. Li Qingshan stepped forward and flicked his two fingers again. Ding! The piercing sound seemed to penetrate the eardrum. The spear banged and inserted into the ground. I saw this smiling young man pointing a finger at Dongfang Dehi's eyebrows. With a puff, the brain matter spurted out. Dongfang Dehi stood there blankly, his face full of shock and horror. He lost. The fight lasted only 3 seconds. All the people of the Jingxi lineage were dumbfounded. This can't be true, right? Li Qingshan wiped his fingers, with a gentle smile on his face, looking at Dongfang Jiang and said, the debt of the past should be paid. Hiss. Xianyuan Xiong couldn't help but take a breath of cold air. What level is this young man? Cut off the way to life with one finger? Dongfang Dehi is at least in the middle stage of the heavenly man realm. Even if he is weak, he is still a top strong man in the world. He was killed in just one encounter? Do you know him? Xianyuan Xiong couldn't help but look at Xianyuan Bingro. Xianyuan Bingro shook her head. She didn't know about Li Qingshan's existence, but the other party dared to come out when Li Chen and the others were at a disadvantage. He must have some support. You go help Li Chen. He still needs me. Bang! A big pit was smashed on the ground, and only Long Zhan was left struggling in the sky. Li Chen coughed up blood and climbed out, grimacing in pain. Xianyuan Xiong saw Li Chen's embarrassed appearance and couldn't help laughing. Boy, can you do it? If you can, go ahead. Li Chen covered his chest and pointed at the Kailan Genren above. He, look at me. Li Chen was just about to talk to Xianyuan Bingro when he saw a figure falling down. Boom! It was like a super earthquake, and the big pit smashed out was bigger than the one he had just seen. Ahem! Hey, senior, why are you back? Ahem! Xianyuan Xiong's face turned red, and he said, I'm just warming up, what do you know? As soon as he finished speaking, the old man roared angrily, and his body soared into the sky again. Thank you, Li Chen said to Xianyuan Bingro, if you win this battle, I will marry you and invite you to drink. Okay, Xianyuan Bingro nodded. Old senior, I'll help you, Li Chen shouted loudly. Zheng Wenjun. Mu Wenjia. Xianyuan Bingro. They found that they were still too shameless compared to Li Chen. Father-in-law, have a good journey. Xianyuan Bingro and others turned their heads suddenly and saw Li Qingshan's light palm falling on Dongfang Jiang's heart. They could clearly see that Dongfang Jiang's face was full of shock and fear. It seemed that he couldn't believe it was true even before his death. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 779. Bang. Dongfang Qiang fell to the ground, his eyes wide open. Everything happened in a flash, leaving no time for people to react. Dongfang Qiang died, the patriarch who had been in charge of the Dongfang family for 30 or 40 years, fell. Li Qingshan didn't even look at his father-in-law, his eyes fell on Dongfang Kunyu. Does the ancestor want to live forever? What do you think? Dongfang Kunyu didn't seem to care much about the death of the two Dongfang family members. I think he should. Li Qingshan smiled and said, I can give you a chance, do you want it? Tell me about it. It's not difficult to break the threshold of the spiritual realm door, it's in my hands now. Li Qingshan smiled and said, do you know about luck, senior? Dongfang Kunyu frowned slightly, he felt that Li Qingshan was different. But he couldn't say this difference. Just when Li Qingshan said this, Li Chen, who was fighting in the sky, couldn't help but pause. His eyes locked onto Li Qingshan with murderous intent. Li Chen, Xian Yuan Xiang roared, it's already this time, how dare you be distracted? Kailan Genren also noticed that Li Chen was distracted. His eyes could not help but fall on Li Qingshan and Dongfang Kunyu, with a bit of curiosity. So it's with you. Kailan Genren kicked Long Zhan away with one foot, and his body dived down instantly. Before Xian Yuan Xiang could speak, Li Chen blocked Kailan Genren's path. Kailan Genren pressed down with one hand, and the whole sky seemed to collapse, and the extremely huge pressure continued to fall. Li Chen couldn't bear it at all. Li Hokshan, what you are hiding is the real destiny of heaven and earth, right? Kailan Genren stomped his foot hard. Li Chen's waist had been bent by the invisible force. I was wondering why it appeared after a while and disappeared after a while. Kailan Genren smiled, it seems, Li Chen's child is the key. Many people were confused when they heard it. How could this be related to Li Chen's child again? Li Qingshan turned his head and looked at the suppressed Li Chen, you are much weaker than I thought. Uncle Li still regards you as hope, it seems that he overestimated you a little. Li Chen, with bloodshot eyes, slowly stood up again, which made Kailan Genren feel incredible. If you dare to touch her, I will kill you. He he. Li Qingshan sneered, as a member of the Li family, you have to sacrifice something, don't you? Li Chen punched out, and Kailan Genren was shocked back a step. With a surging murderous intent, Li Chen turned around and killed Li Qingshan. Li Chen, what are you doing? Xian Yuan Xiang was stunned. Wasn't he killing Kailan Genren just now? Why are you killing your own people? Li Chen arrived in an instant and punched out, and the murderous intent was as real as substance. Facing Li Chen's raging punch, Li Qingshan's mouth corner had only a trace of contempt. I'm disappointed in you. Li Qingshan came first and slapped Li Chen's chest lightly with his palm. Li Chen's face changed drastically, and he was like a cannonball flying backwards. Boom! His body smashed the floors behind him. The whole world fell into silence. Everyone saw how powerful Li Chen was, but even someone like Li Chen couldn't stop this young man, so how strong was this young man? Interesting. Kailan Genren smiled, young man, since you also know about luck, you should know how to do it, which is beneficial to you and me, isn't it? Dongfang Kunyu frowned slightly. He didn't expect Kailan Genren to lock on so quickly. Qingshan, kill him. At this moment, Li Hokshan in the sky was finally ready. In Li Hokshan's hand, a dark green small sword appeared. The moment the small sword was created, the blood on Li Hokshan's face disappeared. Kailan Genren frowned, he actually smelled a threat of death. Li Hokshan has really not stopped his research over the years. Li Qingshan moved instantly, grabbing Kailan Genren with one hand. Kailan Genren saw this, kicked out, and his body instantly pulled away. Just as the green sword was flying, Long Zhan and Xian Yuan Xiang had come down to block his way. You dash. When everyone thought that Li Qingshan was going to chase Kailan Genren, he suddenly turned around and attacked Dongfang Kunyu. Stop! Dongfang Kunyu had been prepared for a long time, and the Bagua formation diagram appeared again. Just now I wanted to say that I would lend you my head, but unfortunately Li Chen interrupted me. Li Qingshan smiled and said, "Do you know the wonderful use of luck?" Dongfang Kunyu's face changed, and suddenly he felt a pain in his heart. He turned his head with a dull face, and saw Li Chen, who had appeared at some point behind him. Li Qingshan took advantage of the moment when he turned back and grabbed him in the air. It seemed that he grabbed something, but it seemed that he grabbed nothing. Dongfang Kunyu was stunned and shocked. Looking for death. He wanted to kill Li Chen and Li Qingshan, but neither Li Chen nor Li Qingshan paid any attention to him. Two figures soared into the sky at the same time. Dongfang Kunyu was about to move, but his face changed again and he spit out blood. His body was falling apart. No, no, Dongfang Kunyu showed a look of horror. Why is this happening? Boom! A huge explosion in the sky. Many experts from the inspection division almost all pressed forward, and the four great heavenly realm masters including Kaiyuniu all fell at this moment. But the inspection division also suffered heavy losses. Almost all the members of the inspection division, who were injured, formed an encirclement at the outermost edge. Kailan Genren was surrounded. Li Hokshan, Li Chen, Li Qingshan, Xianyu Enxiang, and Long Zhan, these are the five strongest people in the world. On the periphery, there are Qinglong, Beihu, Zuk, Suan Wuo, Wu Chuping, Zhang Jingtang, Fan Tingzu and other heavenly realm masters. Even so, Kailan Genren was still very calm. The green little sword was the weapon that posed the greatest threat to him. Apart from that, he didn't take anyone seriously. Li Chen looked at Li Qingshan with a gloomy face, and seemed to have some resentment. Li Qingshan smiled embarrassedly and said, "I'm too deep into the play, please forgive me." Long Zhan and Xianyu Enxiang felt very tired. They felt that they had enough tricks, but compared with the perverts of the Li family, they were really nothing. At this moment, they were still playing tactics. Long Zhan and Xianyu Enxiang felt that they could lie down, because they could no longer tell what was true and what was false. Even Li Hokshan played them around. "Can you fight?" Long Zhan asked. He felt that he could just be a tool now. Xianyu Enxiang meant the same thing. "I won't ask. If you say to fight, we will fight." Li Chen smiled bitterly and said, "You too, just look at the reaction of this Kailan Genren and you will know that he doesn't take us seriously at all. Now, even if all of us fight together, we are not his opponents." Li Chen had to tell this cruel fact. Kailan Genren seemed to be in a good mood. "Li Hokshan, did you hide your luck in your granddaughter? To be honest, if it wasn't for what happened just now, I wouldn't have thought that you and Murong Hungs would take such a risky move. You are the descendants of that lineage. Yes, if you give me your luck, I can guarantee that none of you will die." The Country Life of a Rich Dad. Author, Wo Shihami Gua. Chapter 780. Li Chen stared at Li Qingshan. He guessed the existence of this person. However, he didn't know much about Li Qingshan's personality. The luck that Master Kailan wants is the real longevity fruit. If Li Qingshan really gives it, then there are only two results. One is that Master Kailan completely breaks the shackles and enters the spiritual realm. However, in this case, the great crisis that even the ancestor cannot resolve will definitely break out. No one knows whether the people on earth can afford this kind of price. The second is to completely shatter the destiny and return it to heaven and earth, completely ending the current path of martial arts. Of course, if this happens, everyone will die. Master Kailan has never been irritable or violent. Perhaps it has something to do with the fact that he has seen too many lives and deaths. But if Li Qingshan really dares to swallow up this destiny that represents immortality, then the next situation can be expected. It must be a brutal massacre. Li Qingshan looked at Li Chen and said, "You should know the most. What's your opinion?" Li Chen smiled bitterly and said, "Broken. I don't think I'm the protagonist, and I don't think I have the ability to save the world. What's more, even the ancestors couldn't solve the problem. Is it realistic for you to expect this guy who only wants to live forever to save you?" Master Kylan's face darkened. After Uncle Li and we discovered the existence of luck, we had already made preparations. Whether it is you or me, we are just pawns in the chess game of heaven and earth, Li Qingshan said. Xiao Wu was forced to get involved, she is just a child. If it breaks, Xiao Wu, something might happen. Have you thought about it? Yes, it's a dilemma. Li Chen, Master Kylan's face became increasingly ugly. He finally waited until everyone was dead. He just wanted to see why that person wanted to stop martial arts back then. He also wants to know, what is above the spiritual realm. Li Chen spread his hands towards Master Kylan and said, "Sorry, I love my family very much and I also like this world, but I am self-aware. Unknown troubles can sweep the world. I am a selfish person, but I am not a bad person. Crush it? How dare you?" Master Kylan was furious. "Take action immediately." Li Hoqian spat out a mouthful of blood, and the small green sword instantly erupted with a bright sword light, and instantly pierced into Master Kylan. Master Kylan was extremely angry. Seeing that Li Hoqian and others dared to stop him, he immediately took cruel action. The reason why he endured it until now was because he felt it was unnecessary. Now Li Chen wants to shatter his luck and cut off his path to immortality. How can he bear it? Puff. Li Hoqian spit out a mouthful of blood and flew out. Long Zhan and Xian Yuanxiang quickly blocked it. Li Qingshan took out the walkie-talkie and explained, "After experimenting for so long, we have been trying to peel off while minimizing the loss. Now, we can only say that the success rate is about 60%. Have you thought about it?" "Think about it," Li Chen nodded. "Mr. Murong, let's get started." "Okay," Murong Hung's voice came from the intercom. Seeking death, Master Kylan was furious, and neither Long Zhan nor Xian Yuanxiang could resist. "Go together." Qinglong and the others roared angrily. They knew that it would be futile for them to join them. But as long as it can be stopped for a moment, it's worth it. Li Chen closed his eyes in pain. "Xiao Wu, Dad is sorry for you." Li Qingshan said, "Actually, we still have one last way to go." "What do you mean?" Li Chen watched the figures falling one after another, his eyes full of worry. "Li Chen," Master Kylan roared loudly and began to kill everyone. "Take the system away." Li Chen's heart suddenly stopped and he stared at Li Qingshan. "Auntie put the thing on you just to break the situation today," Li Qingshan said quickly. "If the luck remains, all of us may die, but if the luck is broken, although we will die, that will be it's a long time coming. The things left by our ancestors are of some use after all. Your father and I have repeatedly studied the manuscripts left by our ancestors. Perhaps our chance of survival lies in this system." Li Chen shook his head, "But there is no way to advance in the system? The heavenly realm is the limit." At this point, Li Chen was suddenly stunned. The realm of heaven and humanity is the limit. The highest limit of the system is the heavenly realm, but Master Kylan and Long Zhan are all better than him. Including Li Qingshan. Li Chen suddenly understood the unreasonableness of this, and his eyes widened little by little. "It seems you have understood." Li Qingshan smiled and said, "This thing used to be a boost, but it may not be so now. Our last hope lies with you. Whether we can do it or not depends on you." Li Qingshan laughed loudly and rushed into the sky to stop Master Kylan. Boom! A branch director of the inspection department was hit in the head on the spot. Everyone in the inspection department was also angry. They didn't believe that so many strong men couldn't deal with one person. Li Chen found that everyone was looking at him. Take out the system. Li Chen took a deep breath and refused to deny that the system had been of great help. But now it has indeed restricted him. Wait for me a moment. Li Chen's body rushed into the ruins of Murong's house below. After a full minute, Li Chen rose into the sky. He didn't know what would happen if the system was taken out, but he was willing to bet on it this time. All spiritual consciousness shrank, and Li Chen began to immerse himself. At this moment, he finally clearly felt the existence of this chip-sized thing in his Nuan palace. Take it out and you might die. But if he didn't take it, he and the others wouldn't be able to defeat the crazy Kylin master. Luck is broken. Xiao Wu, I don't know if anything is wrong. Ah. When Li Chen used his spiritual consciousness to forcefully take it out, blood began to ooze crazily between his eyebrows. Do you want to stop me? Mu Wenjie said with gloomy eyes. Stop, He Runkai said coldly, damn it, deserve to be killed. They all looked at Zheng Wenjun. All the powerful men in the capital were dead. However, they are not without people. Li Chen's current condition is a great opportunity to kill him. Master Zheng. They all looked at Zheng Wenjun, but Zheng Wenjun was still hesitant. Master Zheng, if you wait any longer, you will really have no chance. Zheng Wenjun took a deep breath and said, I dare to take down the emperor even if I am willing to be killed. Kill. There are only a few masters left in the capital's lineage. They are still at the master level. After all, the heavenly realm has been completely slaughtered. Salsa. However, just as they were preparing to take action, footsteps sounded again. The pupils of Zheng Wenjun and others suddenly shrank, and they roared, Go and kill him. Master Zheng, who do you want to kill? It's you. It's me. Gao Durong walked out with a smile on his face. After waiting for so long, we guys finally have a chance to play. Mu Wenjie, He Runkai and others looked ugly. He Wangxia, is that you? He Runkai stared at the sister coldly.